So basically, I think that the twang in the falsetto part and becoming big is one of my bigger issues, and then seeing where that fry lies when I'm in that range of voice. Because for me, I want to somehow push it up and close it down in order to activate fry. But when I look
Mhm.
back at your videos, it seems that you can be big, but the fry is happening somewhere else in your throat, which I cannot really understand
Mhm.
where it's happening. So I don't know. Maybe some.
Let's start with the falsetto big kind of thing. Making falsetto big and making creaking in falsetto big. How would you approach it?
Multiple ways I did practice it. Maybe you can maybe give me a note and I'll try to go from falsetto to a bit of yeah. Lay, lay. Just let me reduce the gain a little bit.
Good.
Lay.
It's not bad. What I hear is you're going to the mix, so it's kind of the medium fry. Wow, kind of this direction, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool. Um, as far as I remember, the making falsetto big thing should lead to a different result, which the result you got is good, but it's just a different exercise. You did, yeah, and you just went into a mix.
Yeah. I cannot go into like big falsetto. Oh no.
This one, right? So that would be big falsetto.
I can give it a
Um,
few tries if anything.
so we can try it a bit lower. Can you talk in kind of a grandma voice like that?
Yes, I do believe I can.
Yes,
One,
so
two,
that's
three,
falsetto.
four, five. And I narrow it down again. Five, now, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good. So that's big falsetto, I'd say.
Okay.
Could say reinforced falsetto or whatever. But
Doesn't
it's
sound that big for me, but
it could be bigger, but it's that's the direction. Right. Volume wise, if you want to check for yourself. Oh, it's very loud. Hang on, I'm gonna make it bigger. Oh, I'm very quiet now. Now I'm back to normal. So it's kind of doubling the volume. Twice as loud is big enough, I think, for now. And it will make your fry scream about twice as loud. Of course, not 10 times as loud, but like, whoa! If you have this thing, the irregular creaking.
yeah, but when you do that, you have some sort of a layer of like air coming out.
That's just me being sick right now. Shouldn't be too breathy. That sounds good. Yeah, that sounds correct. So now if I apply the big falsetto shape, it should make it a bit louder. Let's try.
Okay.
Hi, not in my backyard.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2,
Yeah,
3.
okay, that's it.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to
Good.
push it down.
One to the one.
Yeah!
That's it. That's it.
It takes me. I've been warming up today a little bit, so it takes me like like 30 minutes of warm ups, and then to do like a part like this, and then it goes away. But basically, it kind of do feel tension, which is not the tension that I would get from trying to scream like this, on the vocal folds themselves. It's just some tension that's the muscles or something.
Yeah. So is that tension comfortable or uncomfortable?
It depends. When I'm singing, it's comfortable, but if whenever I catch something, I try and use it as
Yeah.
much to understand.
So you get
what I'm
stiff.
doing.
Yeah. So I'd say don't let it go tense. Right? But the sound was nice. That was I'd call it a basic fry scream. Which is what I used to call quiet fry, but it wasn't too quiet, I guess. It's the others can be a bit louder, but it's like it doesn't have to be tiny. So that's basic fry scream. Now the other one that you did initially, yeah, where you go more into a mix. Whoa! Where it's more like this. That's what I call medium fry. It can be a bit louder, but mostly it's a bit chestier than. yeah. That's your falsetto bass one. And yeah, that's your mixed bass one, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to try that one again? Yeah, falsetto to mix.
And okay, falsetto to mix, and then try add fry on top of that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Adding falsetto, pushing it down. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Don't try to make it perfect right now. It's pretty good already. It's wow. You have it on every syllable, so that's good enough.
It's a bit hard on syllables. Sometimes I catch myself some syllables that kind of don't start in that, and you need to find your way so that the fry.
It's a bit harder usually for people to stabilize the medium fry than the basic fry, which is why I start with the basic fry, so that people have something to practice. For you, both are pretty decent today. That was relatively quick. Sometimes it takes 3 lessons or so until people can actually just do a basic thing like this. So this is cool.
Your attack is really nice. If I would go, I would know what to do. I have to start somewhere from like falsetto, then think about adding stuff.
Do that. It's fine. I've been doing this for years, and if it's new to you, take your time. The hard onset that I'm doing helps me stabilize it. So I'm not going for something like this. This one usually works best, but of course it's easier to do it in several steps. So do it in several steps at the moment. It's fine.
But you're also like when I do it, it happens so that there's falsetto, then I add fry on top, and then there's both together. But you, when you did it now, it seemed that you somehow went from falsetto, then fry on top, and then you went to fry only, like left the.
It's just atonal. I still feel the falsetto, and I still think the falsetto. And also, I have a bit of extra false faults in there, so they create extra noise, so it gets even more blurred. But if let me paint something. So if I have falsetto, that's the pitch. Let's say that's A4. Now, I'm slowly adding more creaking. And you still see the underlying pitch, so it's like something like this, where you still hear the pitch. If I have a lot of noise, eventually you don't hear the pitch anymore, but it's still in there. You know it's still in there. You can see it here and here and here, but it's the overall thing that you hear is just white noise. But that doesn't mean the falsetto is gone. It's not like I deleted it like that.
But you somehow reinforce it. You said with your false folds, and the texture is way more dense. And
I'm using the false folds to make it a bit more stable, but that's a later step.
Okay.
The thing is, a lot of people teach you to use your false folds right away in fry scream because it makes fry screaming easier. So the quick fix would be teaching you how to use your false folds. What I prefer is get super consistent with just the vocal folds. Wow! Then you have best possible vocal fold control, and then you can add the false folds to stabilize even more. So it's already stable, but you add another safety layer, so there's no reason for insecurity with it anymore. And the false folds make it sound even thicker. So they add a bit of extra rumbling. It's like an icing on the cake with me. If you already use it in the beginning, there's no room to grow. Same with medium fry. With medium fry, I usually rely on yodeling. So it's like, oops, accidental fry. Okay. Whether that feels exactly the same or not, I think it's a bit individual. But once we found that fry, we try to recreate it. And we always search it via the breaking. Wow! Okay, I find it a bit quicker now. Wow! Almost immediately. Wow! Now immediately. Wow! Okay, I have it reliable now. So, let's just try the breaky thing right now.
Of course.
You do a hey!
Hey! Hey!
Good. So right now, of course, it's a bit hey. I know I'm supposed to break, so I'm making a break. A good way to see whether you're making the break or whether it's accidental is that's a made break. Yeah! That's accidental. Yeah!
Yeah, I do get what you're saying from the sound of it. Uh, let me. I
Did you
think I
see?
can.
Did you see my belly though?
I did.
So with the break that I make, where it's like I intentionally not hit it, where I yodel, my belly goes in and out, so it gives more pressure, less pressure. Head voice, chest voice, chest voice. What we want is to be in between of head voice and chest voice, so the voice cannot decide.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you have food, and you try to weigh it, and the display says 84 gram. No, 85, 84,
Yeah,
84.
yeah. That's a
It's
really
like
good
that.
reference. For me, I think it's like a specific note, but in my mind, what I need to think, I'll just do an example in a moment, is when I try to get reach higher notes, I try to stabilize them using my mixed voice, right? To have the airflow consistent. But as I was trying to make my chest voice a bit more irritating, twangy, and more open coming out of my face, I did get the indecisiveness of the vocal cords.
Cool.
So give me a few tries
Yep.
to try and replicate that. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's one way of doing it. For some people, these open twangy shapes work well. For other people, we close a bit more. It doesn't really matter. The main goal is to create some kind of mismatch,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how exactly you do it. If you were going for darker colors, like these colors, then I'd recommend a less twang. But twang is not a bad thing for that kind of style usually. So it's cool. I just do a lot of fooling around with the fry as you have so far because the accidents that happen are often the best moments. You did another thing 10 minutes ago, like something like this. This one.
Yeah. Well, this one, I've been using as in two different ways. So the first one, if I would do the lower ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, using more of my throat. But then I could make it more breathy. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good.
Uh,
Do they feel comfortable both?
the lower one does feel kind of comfortable because I've been doing it more, and the higher one I've only experimented not for that long.
What I hear in both is hyper compressed fry screaming. So that's the weightlifty thing. So the low one, it sounds good to me. They both have a bit of breath, but the high one has more. So that's why I'm asking if it's comfortable. For me, I very quickly would dry out
Exactly.
and start coughing because my voice would produce more phlegm and all that. So what I practice is reducing the airflow a bit. So you have something like at the moment, you want to go more. We have noise still, but it's instead of
Yes.
in tendency the non-breathy version will require more pressure. So if you can compare again my belly, the breathy version, and the non-breathy version, it's a bit bigger.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the end was not as breathy anymore, I think.
Yeah, I tried to instead of adding more breath to close it down here
Yep.
even more and push harder on
Good.
on it.
So that's hypercompressed screaming. And you can try to apply the thing that you have down there to the highs. It's intuitive to add more air because we're opening the mouth. So we want to open the vocal folds too. That's very intuitive. I get that all the time. But for me personally, as the breathy thing almost immediately will tickle a bit, I really have to stay a bit reserved with the highs, even though they sound less like that. So that's not breathy, and it feels a bit held back. So it's not super climactic, but I can sustain it a bit longer.
Okay.
As soon as the scream works, you can start pushing a bit into it. So instead of just this, you can do something like this, which is louder and a bit thicker,
Mm-hmm.
and it has more airflow, but it doesn't necessarily have more breathiness. It's more like some maths. That's easy, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I write this, what do I have to write here so that this is still true? Another 4. So, what does that mean? 1 is the perfect balance for our scream. Let's say that if I used more flow, we get this, which is a breathy sound. Let's say everything below 1 is breathy. We don't want that. So we're going to keep the flow low. 4 divided by 4 is 1, but 2 divided by 2 is also 1. Both are the same balance, but 4 is a bigger intensity, so to say. So this is mid-high pressure and mid-high flow.
Yes.
The other extreme would be if you close off too much. You get this one. And, of course, this one is going to be a 2. So that would be no sound coming out anymore, right? It's not complicated really, but it takes a bit of precision training to get the difference between pushing and adding air. Right? And I'd only do the pushing once you feel very safe with it, because pushing a bit too much or pushing slightly wrong can end the practice session for that day.
Yeah, that has happened more than a few times.
That's cool. So you have 3 kinds of fry scream right now. The first 2, they connect quite well eventually, like the wah, 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 more falsetto bass and the more mixed bass. They can connect just as much as in clean singing you can connect these. The hyper compressed one is a bit more separate because the whole body activation is very different. Like the falsetto bass one, wah, 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 it's pretty easy. The hyper compressed one, it's pretty sporty. I recommend getting good at all of them and then having all of them available for the suitable contexts.
It's a really good advice. Even now, for me, with the fry screams as well, the way that the songs that I've written are made, I kind of want to merge those worlds together, so I could be singing in a way that could allow me to access my fry, and it's something like that.
Yeah. It's good you have this intuitive understanding of where it works. Because what you did now is something, it's an exercise I often do with people. You start on a G or something in a mix. And then we open up to an A vowel on the C, so a 4th higher. And that's what you did. Did something like that! Okay. And that was a basic fry at the top. So we start in something thicker and then we break into something thinner, into a more falsetto based thing, right? We could do the same thing but lower from chest to mix. Something like that! And then have it break up in the medium fry.
Yeah,
right?
the medium fry doesn't, I have not found a way to do it yet.
Yeah, it's a bit harder.
Okay.
But it works the same. It's more of a balance act.
How should I practice to try that one as well?
I just practiced the stuff we did before, trying to add the fry or don't let it go too small. So not but now you're trying to force it.
That sometimes happens that I try to force it if I don't catch it right off the.
Yeah. Wait longer. Be more patient with it. If it doesn't come right away, either sustain it for another 10 seconds or just take a new breath. So it's like I could force it by doing the yodels. Yeah. Then I find it almost immediately. But if I don't do the yodels, just wait. There it was. I didn't change anything, consciously at least. That was the first attempt. Now it might take 5 attempts. You could use little tricks, stuff like I'm active, I'm sleepy. Use anything that works, but don't try to make it perfect right away. It will get better with time. So that's a very common exercise that I do. Have we tried the clean falsetto to clean mix? And then creaky falsetto to creaky mix. This one.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
And now with creaking, yeah. Think just about chest. Don't think about creaking.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now that's distortion.
Yeah, that's distortion.
Let's try a bit higher. Yeah.
Yeah. This one?
Wonderful.
Okay, okay. So, for me, going from falsetto into it and then trying to go to
Mm-hmm.
fry doesn't really work. But if I try to go to my mixed voice and take this note, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, again, maybe find it there. But also, if I want to push, I get to start doing the distortion
Yeah,
instead.
yeah.
So I kind of get mixed up because what I've been doing when I started singing, I've been putting a lot of, trying to sing with my distortion
Yeah.
and throat and everything. So
Yeah.
I kind of need to unlearn that a little bit and try to find the soft spots where the fry is happening.
The distortion that you have up there, it could also be combined with the medium fry. Just as in basic fry, I use extra false folds. You could do the same for your medium fry. But again, that would be the last step for me. It would be the icing on the cake, not the stabilizer in the beginning. It's just two-fold based. It's not the thickest sound, but if I can get that one reliable, then I could add false folds and make it even thicker.
Yeah,
right?
for me right now, when I try to even imagine of how should that feel like, it just doesn't seem to collide. So I think we
Yeah, one feels like under-energizing, the other one feels like over-energizing. So it's a bit paradox.
Exactly.
But it
Yeah,
can
yeah,
work. It can work with the right shape.
Can I do another try of falsetto to fried mix and then see
Yep.
if that works? Okay. La la. Again.
Yeah, you're going to this one,
That's
which
bad.
I wouldn't. I'd stay with the same shape and get the fry not from shaping differently, but just from under-energizing a bit, from getting lazy.
Okay. It also feels, because when I go to chest, I want to go out and break and loud, and
Yeah.
when I need to under energize, it feels a bit weird. I need to find a spot.
Start with a slightly more open mouth. I think when you go for a clean mix, whoa, it's more like that instead of whoa, that.
Whoa! It goes down.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! Can you use?
Whoa! Whoa!
Better or still down?
Yeah, better. Whoa!
So, this kind of forward motion that we do with our hands, it has several purposes. The first one is to just imagine to bring it forward. So that's just a mental cue. Placement sensations are mostly individual, but they can help. So it's really just throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. So that's one of the purposes. The other purpose is if I do a movement like this, that's an impulse that I add. So the impulse usually helps with keeping a slightly higher flow, and at the same time, the movement of it gives our body a bit of energy to not just have flow, but we want so the body to stay active like that, which kind of automatically happens if we do a bit of a motion like this. It could also be a throwing motion. It doesn't always have to be forward motions. It could be motions to the body, like pulling a leash, curbing a dog, or even motions to the sides that usually encourage a bit more twang, like tying giant shoelaces or strangling someone with a rope that is tied around their neck already, like that, right? So it could be any kind of motion. Motion usually helps with intuitively correct balance between flow and pressure. But in this case, I prefer the forward motion. A thing to your body is helpful if you want to reduce your flow. So if you have something like, hey, slightly over push thing, hey, this more reserved, restrained thing helps to contain the air. It leads to a clearer, albeit lighter sound, right? I'd always experiment with motion like that. It could be exercises that we talked about. You could just fool around and see what works. Outsourcing the brain power.
Yeah. And
What I would otherwise micromanage. So,
makes
let's try that forward flowy thing again, where you just go for yeah, something like this, and don't worry about the scream not being completely atonal or anything. Just go for the place that you hope for the scream to be in. And do it a couple of times, and maybe one of them is gonna work well. Whoa!
Yeah! Whoa! Way!
I like that you're experimenting with different vowels. So for me, whoa is a nice thing to throw something like this. Yeah. Obviously works too. For me, yeah, feels more intuitively like a sideways kind of thing where I also slightly tilt my head up and open my chest a bit more, close my back a bit more, because is a twangier vowel than aw. So with that one, I usually rely more on twang. Yeah! And this one also leads to a nice result for me. It would be interesting to switch those two up. So for me to try to do an eval without the twang. Yeah! Oh, now it was less twangy than yeah, this one. Or to do aw, which is not a shape that usually allows for a lot of twang. With that one, wow! Interestingly, leads to a slightly different result. Do you want to try?
Sure. Oh!
So right now, the sound and the movement is not really synchronized. What I do is, wow! I'd have your movement give your voice the cue for when to break up.
Yeah.
It's not you or your brain controlling both to happen at the same time like this. That's too cognitive. I'd give all the power to the motion. Okay. Wow! Already prepared, so there's already voice, the mouth is already round, but wow! To open up only when your arms go for the movement.
Let me get a bit more comfortable then. And try to do naturally to allow for the body to control the voice. Oh!
Okay, so the combination of the aw vowel and the sideward movement doesn't work too well, so we can drop it. You don't need to practice the exercise. If the exercise is not intuitive, search for a better exercise so that we don't have this meta practice thing where I need to practice the exercise that helps me practicing this exercise that helps me practicing the sound I actually care for. Let's try the again. I think that's what you did intuitively already. I would just want to see if it accidentally worked well or if it's not. Just luck. Yeah! So I still hear a lot of twang. Can you try yeah! I see the tendency that you have to spread the lips like that. Yeah! Let's see if you can keep that. Actually, keep one hand here. Not to press your lips together, but just to control whether this wants to do that so that you notice it. And use the other hand. Yeah! I still see a bit of this. Right now, your hands are here. Can you keep them here?
Yes.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. Can you make it a bit more spacious? Good. I still see your tongue. Like this?
Yes. So it shouldn't be?
It should be a black hole.
Yeah, I'm definitely pushing it.
Can you say, whoa!
Whoa! Oh! Whoa!
That's better.
Oh! Okay.
Yeah. So this is stuff to experiment with, but in tendency, really more vertical mouth. Together with that, as opposed to that movement, will give you a darker scream. Yeah! Without you even having to care about larynx position, yeah! Which will make it really hard. to the
Okay.
medium fry scream up there.
Okay, this is really good because I feel like some unexplored new territories of what I can definitely experiment with. Especially, keeping those minimal things like dark mouth and relaxed. No,
Yeah.
pushing the dumbbells.
I
Sorry.
mean, this thing is valid too, but it leads to brighter sound colors. So it's like, yeah, it's like
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. I do get it, but the unexplored territories, I want to figure out more about my voice and how it works, where it works, and try,
Yeah.
different things. Yeah, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, Tony, it's really nice to talk to you, really nice to learn with you. Looking forward to see you on January the 22nd. If I'll find something, I'll have any questions, I'll again send you a quick 2-minute video showing, displaying whatever I'm doing.
Nice.
All
Wonderful.
right. Thank you very much. And how do you say goodbye in German?
Tschüss.
Tschüss. That's simple.
Nice.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Tschüss.